Hi lovely people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to hop on here to briefly discuss Saweetie's new music and touch on the state of her career. After Saweetie dropped her November 2022 EP, The Single Life, the project did not have much lasting power, as it was poorly received by the general public, and it was the subject of online discourse due to its abysmal sales. Throughout the first half of 2023, Saweetie continued to stay busy by performing at a few different festivals and sponsored events. But recently, the rapper dropped not one, but two new singles titled Shot O'Clock and Birthday, featuring YG and Tyga. The first song, Birthday, was actually leaked a few years ago that featured a verse from the internet's current public enemy, Doja Cat, instead of YG. I prefer that version much more to this one because, per usual, Doja took what could have been a basic filler track and gave it a needed boost. Given recent events, YG being added to the song works out perfectly, given that all three West Coast artists, Saweetie, YG, and Tyga, are about to head out on tour for their Straight to the Club tour starting in September. As for the music video, I truly expected more. As someone who has always been a fan of Saweetie's visuals over the years, because of her ability to create videos that are aesthetically appealing and distinctive, I was very much underwhelmed. I did not see Saweetie doing very much except holding a birthday cake and just moving up and down with the cake and candles. For someone like Saweetie, who goes all out for their birthday every year based on her social media posts, as well as her devotion to being a Cancer, the energy, aura, and light that I saw from Saweetie in previous videos such as My Type, Fast, or even Risky was severely lacking in Birthday. I will say that her looks were beyond gorgeous, and it fit her inspiration for wanting to pay homage to the era of old Hollywood starlets who always gave us glamour. While the song is essential for the trio to perform together as they embark on their tour, I would not rank Saweetie's birthday song high up in the list of all-time great birthday songs, with classics such as Rihanna's Birthday Cake, In the Club by 50 Cent, and Birthday by 2 Chainz. For whoever was hoping this would be the era where we would finally get a project from Saweetie free of samples, they were mistaken, because Shot O'Clock flips the classic 1992 song Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega. When she was asked for her response to those who criticize her for always using samples, Saweetie said, quote, "They can expect that for the rest of my life. I know I get a lot of criticism, but I feel like it's only because I do it really well when I release my most popular songs. When PBM comes along, I do have some original beats that I am so excited to share because I feel like it'll not only be like, oh, Saweetie makes great sample songs, it'll be, she just makes great songs, period," unquote. Shot O'Clock is my favorite out of the two songs because it just sounds fun and lively. She is not doing too much on the song, and I feel like it's a song people can dance and have a good time to, especially when it's performed live. I could see it becoming a fan favorite, much like Boss Chick from the Single Life EP. While I am glad Saweetie is continuing to release music despite critics and online hate, I can't help but wonder about the status of her debut album that was supposed to be released in 2021. When Saweetie spoke to E! News in March of 2023 about what is causing the delay with the album, she said, quote, "Honestly, it's a balance of just excitement and stress because I want to put it out, but it's also just the stress of like, dang, I've been on the scene for a while. It was supposed to come out the year before, last year, the year after that, so it's just kind of like, I'm trying to make all the songs make sense because when I put out this album, I want people to really understand my story." She went on to say that the album gotta sound cohesive, you know? I feel like a debut album isn't something you just put out or something you play with. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking. I'm a Cancer, so I overthink sometimes, but I think you have to be really careful with that, and I take my art really serious, unquote. It is going on 6 years since Saweetie stepped on the scene with Icy Grl, and at this point, it is quite concerning that her and her label have yet to release a debut album. There has been a lot that went wrong in the last 3 years alone. For one, her team and label did not strike while the iron was hot. Neglecting to release an album after Best Friend featuring Doja Cat became a top 20 two-time platinum Grammy-nominated hit was a huge mistake. The song was all over every social media platform and took over all of 2021. I think as time continues to pass by, it will only get more difficult to recapture an audience and get another hit song that is going to dominate in the way similar to how My Type, Tap In, or Best Friend performed. Secondly, I will also place additional blame on her label for not putting the proper promotion behind Pretty Summer Playlist Season 1, released in 2021, and The Single Life, released in 2022. The former project was different and unlike anything I have heard from Saweetie before. It was complete and very well crafted in my opinion. She intentionally took the shine off of her and put it on new and upcoming artists at the time that she wanted to collaborate with, such as Lourdes, Louis, Kendra J, Baby Africa, and the late Drakeo the Ruler. Lyrically and visually, I could tell Saweetie was passionate about that project, and she was hungry to enter a new chapter in her career, as I could hear the change in her flow and delivery. But for whatever reason, that project went nowhere. As for the single life, that project was essentially dead on arrival, due to lack of promotion and social media already looking for every chance to clown Saweetie. I'll talk about this short-lived era on my flop culture video extensively, which you should definitely check out, but I think this EP could have had a little life if there were videos to accompany it. I'm not sure if that was the intent and it got scrapped, but I believe certain songs off of it, like the aforementioned Boss Chick, Don't Say Nothing, and even No Reception, which highlights a more vulnerable and subdued Saweetie, could have been pushed to see how it would fare with the general public. But given that people were so fixated on her supposedly selling only 2K units in its first week, as opposed to listening to the project, I knew it was grand opening, grand closing. As for the quality of Saweetie's music and image, I had to come to the reality that she probably is never going to go back to the Icy Grl persona that we came to know her as when she first came on the scene. I also had to accept that we are probably never going to get songs like the ones off of her debut project High Maintenance, or earlier songs like Focus, where Saweetie was in a lane of her own, with her subject material, flow, confidence, and realness that was truly a breath of fresh air to the female rap scene at the time. Thirdly, it would be nice if Saweetie brought back her Icy Life web series where she documented the behind the scenes of her life on set and at home. It was such a brilliant idea that gave her fans an opportunity to see what her day in the life is like, and it was perfect at the time when she was actively dropping new music and videos, and then the next day subscribers would get the behind the scenes footage of the song's video. This idea worked extremely well for Saweetie because she seems to have a great charismatic personality that people enjoyed to watch even if they were not fans of her music. Lastly, over the past 2 years, Saweetie stepped away from the scene. In a recent interview with Power 106 LA, Saweetie spoke on her hiatus by saying, quote, "A lot of people thought that I took a break for the wrong reasons. She's this, she's hiding, she's not doing this anymore, but sometimes you just gotta sit back and be with self. In silence, there are many answers, and I felt like my world was getting really chaotic, and I could tell it was going nowhere fast, because I knew what my life was really like, but to the public, I was winning, but the business wasn't right. I had to get my business straight. It is important that the external matches the internal, and they weren't matching. So I had to take a step back and regroup and get myself together for myself," unquote. Although Saweetie did not owe anyone any explanation, it seems she went through a lot over the years, and she's been using this time to meditate, go to therapy, and work on finding herself. She also mentioned in the interview that both singles, Birthday and Shot O'Clock, will be on her upcoming album, which will no longer be named PBM. She did not disclose what the new name is, but she said PBM is a movement and a category of her brand alongside Icy and Icy University. Overall, I disagree with the people on social media who say Saweetie should just quit rapping and become a model, but I do think she has unfortunately reached her peak in the music industry. Way too much time has passed from when she debuted to this point with no album. She has also released several decent songs ranging from Back to the Streets, Fast, and Closer that have showed her versatility as an artist, but have sadly came and went. These days, with the female rap scene, there's always someone new that the public is latching onto, and right now, we are in the era of Ice Spice. Without the proper promotion and push from Saweetie or her label with her recent music releases, it would be difficult to capture that level of momentum, recognition, and chart success that she had a few years ago. I'm still looking forward to whenever the album comes out and any acting opportunities Saweetie has on the horizon. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.